Hi there, and welcome to another instalment of Phoebe's Picks in the CLPE library. So I'm going to be sharing with you some new additions to the library from March, and as ever you can read more about these titles on our website clpe.org.uk. So first book I'm going to start with is a lovely early years picture book from Oxford University Press, Noah's Seal by Lane Marlowe. It's a really sweet story about a little boy and his grandma on the beach, and the little boy builds a seal out of sand. So it's kind of like the snowman on sand is how I describe it. It's one of those lovely books where you're never quite sure until the end whether the magic of the book was real or not. So really special, lovely atmospheric illustrations, really gorgeous early years picture. Next up, we've got a dream team author-illustrator combination, poet Benjamin Zephaniah and illustrator Onyinye Iwu. We Sang Across the Sea, which is an absolutely gorgeous historical picture book about the life of Mona Baptiste, the Trinidadian singer who came to the UK on the Empire Windrush and went on to achieve world fame. So really lovely for introducing these topics to younger children, and because it's Benjamin Zephaniah, the poetry is absolutely gorgeous. It has a repeated sort of song-like chorus that goes through, and of course really exuberant, lovely illustrations as well. Okay, and keeping on the musical theme, we have a picture book here from Caroline McGurl, this one published by Walker Books, called Piano Fingers. Really gorgeous book about a little girl from a musical family who's trying to discover her own talent. Some absolutely gorgeous figurative language in here, really special. A violin, for example, being described as a honey fog machine. I just love that as a phrase. And yes, just very exuberant and all about finding your own talent. So really sweet book there. Okay, next up we have the latest collaboration between Michael Rosen and Tony Ross, Rigatoni the Pasta Cat. This is a really charming, short and sweet comedy story about a cat who loves pasta, but what happens when his owners go on holiday and leave him with someone who doesn't appreciate his love for pasta. So it's really charming, really sweet, very funny, with some wonderful and mouth-watering descriptions of food such as whirly, twirly, fusilli. Really lovely to read aloud. And so yeah, brilliant book from Anderson Press there. Next up, this was featured in my blog from last month, but I had to shout about it today. It's The Comet by Jo Todd Stanton from Flying Eye. This is a proper masterpiece of a picture book about a little girl who moves from the country to the city. So it's about finding a new home, building a new home, and the imagination that it takes to achieve that. And the illustrations are just absolutely second to none. The colour scheme's completely gorgeous, almost sort of just the way that the pictures are laid out, with the sort of comic book spreads and full picture spreads occasionally. It's just an artistic feat from Jo Todd Stanton of Flying Eye. Absolutely love The Comet there. Okay, next up onto some fiction. We have The Marvellous Granny Jinx and Me from Simon & Schuster, written by Serena Holly and illustrated by Selom Sunu. This is a really sweet, charming story about intergenerational friendship between young Jada and her grandmother, trying to put together a magic show for the school talent contest. And also at the end it has some magic tricks that you can try for yourself, so to really get into the narrative you can see for yourself how the magic is done. So yeah, really sweet book there as well. Next up from Usborne, we have Magic Born by Peter Bunzel, the author of Cogheart. This book is publishing in May, but I'm already very excited for its publication. This is a really ambitious historical fantasy book all about family, destiny and magic, and does feature some real historical figures from the Georgian era as well, so it makes for a really interesting learning opportunity for a history curriculum. So this is going to publish on the 26th of May, so yeah, one to get excited about. Finally, a graphic novel recommendation to close today from John Agee, author, illustrator and World Palindrome Championship medalist. This is Otto, a Palindroma, which is a story told entirely in palindromes, so words that read the same backwards as they do forwards. It's a very surreal sort of fantasy adventure featuring characters such as Dr. Awkward, Mr. Alarm, and just full of brilliant moments. One of my favourites being an owl in the desert who finds it too hot to hoot. So really fun wordplay here. I think we'd do for upper Key Stage 2, going into Key Stage 3 even, because it's quite just to really get the most out of that language. So yeah, really fun there from Dial Books at Penguin imprint. Great, so that's all of my recommendations for March. You can find out more about these titles on our blog on clpe.org.uk, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Take care.